Today is the 29th of April, 2026. The Assistant U.S. Attorney Elliot McClain told Attorney John Hudusek, he said, "Counselor, I'm proud to meet Your Excellency, His Majesty, the number one jurisprudent in the world under Sharia and Judean law." Now here, these little white boys in North America, they get high on a horse. They like to amuse themselves. They got a great imagination, and so we're going to give them an imaginary story. We're going to take them to the Oz because they think that they're wizards and they think that they're intelligent. But compared to Amun-Ra, they don't even exist. They're like a dead person. Now, when you dealing with a stupid-ass neuroscientist, stupid-ass NSA, NASA, Federal Agency, military, you're dealing with some idiots. They have discovered that they are not intelligent as they believe they are because they were led over here by the Dutch, French, and Great Britain. And Great Britain come back over here and burnt that White House down. They didn't even know how they burnt it down. And you can get into North America easy when you're from Great Britain or you're from the Islamic world or Africa. And when the tires fall, those dummies are not even going to know how it happened, when it happened, or why it happened, because they're stupid. Compared to God, they're idiots. They can't stop anything. They just think they can. Now, if they can stop the tires from falling, they can set up Raymond Scales and Jeffrey Baldwin. If they can stop the tires from falling, they can set up Raymond Scales and Jeffrey Baldwin. If they can stop the tires from falling, they can set up Raymond Scales and Jeffrey Baldwin. But how in the hell is some white idiot going to set up Raymond Scales and Jeffrey Baldwin? Raymond Scales is God's holy Riddler, the greatest setup artist in the world. And we are going to make sure that these white people are known as idiots. We're going to let them force some monetary movements on Charles, let them cause Charles to have inflation of his legs, and Charles could write the book. And Linda Montgomery's not going for this bullshit because her uncle is attorney George Tookie James, the greatest attorney to ever come out of Westminster University. And his former employee is John Hudusek and Robert Bobby Manson. They all three know that John would never deal with no white boy that thinks he can outwit him. A white boy, just a little white boy. John Hudusek said, "These white boys are idiots compared to you. They're dogs compared to you." Do you really think that Coach Jagger Shows listens to some white bitch from the U.S. government? He took a job because his dumb ass can't start no business and make no $100 billion a year because he's stupid. Compared to Amun-Ra, he'll never be a billionaire. All they do is make those little weapons and try to pretend like they tough. Now they got a scheme. They got the heart attack gun that they had. They got busted on that. Now the radiation testing on humans, they're going to be busted on that. You can recite this case. All we're doing is setting them up, and Judge Brooks Smith is going to work with us to set them up, and the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, and the Supreme Court, because any dummy knows when you don't call a Rule 32, you don't want to continue on with the case. But you got some fools out there that's idiots, uneducated fools. They're not a judge, they're not a lawyer, they're not intelligent, they're idiots because they got a little machine and they work on devices and they call themselves neuroscientists and NSA, NASA, the military, and federal agents. They're not a judge. They're not the world judge. They're not the world court. They're not the international law. They can't even read international law. If they go to international law court talking that white boy bullshit and playing their little games, but they're going to retaliate on Judge Brooks Smith's judgment, and they're going to degrade the U.S. Marshal, they're going to degrade the DEA, they're going to degrade Linda Montgomery, and they're going to degrade her estate plan, and they're going to degrade the University of Pittsburgh football players from the 1977, 1987 Swarm Blue defensive team. They will go to prison with the quickness. See, when you're a white boy and you're North America, you believe, I'll break the law, fuck Congress, fuck the Senate, fuck the House of Representatives, fuck everybody. I do what I want to do because I got new weapons, and I can convince them that I work in the science field, and I can convince them that I'm a white boy, and I can do anything I want to do. I could rape a little kid if I want to and get away with it. I could murder anyone and get away with it. I could force some monetary movements. I could force people to have information in their legs. I can create a new weapon. I can even work on regulated drugs. I can snort cocaine right in the courthouse, and Judge Brooks Smith won't do anything to me because I'm a white boy, and I'll tell him I'm a scientist. I'll tell him I'm a person that's going to retaliate on this case. I'm going to defraud his judgment. I'm going to defraud him, his wife, his children, his family, and his grandparents, and he can't do nothing because I am a white boy. And when I suck a dick, I can suck a dick right in the courthouse. Just like I'm going to be forcing voluntary removals on Linda Montgomery's spouse, I could suck a dick in the courthouse and nobody will say a word. Because I'm a white boy, I'm not that educated like I think I am. I'm a real dummy because I do stupid shit. Trying to retaliate on Judge Brooks Smith was like swimming in the Atlantic Ocean and drinking all the water. But I believe in my dumbass mind that I'm intelligent, but I'm a fucking idiot because I know the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, either they can't read these three motions or they set my ass up. But I really don't mind getting set up. Just like when I let somebody put a penis in my booty. I love same-sex marriage. I love oral sex because I am just a retaliating ass, stupid ass white boy. I see Mr. Who say, what are you talking about? That's what you're dealing with in this case. I said, Miss Stacey, they really think we don't know what they're going to do when they get these three bogus motions that you're promoting in this case, saying he was born in New York, and they just using the Charles Brown New York that New York law created for the fools to take so they can indict me and put me in prison so I can fulfill the scripture 1 through 28 in Isaiah. They don't understand that. He said, priest, these white boys are so fucking stupid. They don't understand nothing. Judge Brooks Smith is not listening to their dumbass. He's not going to say nothing when we don't follow Rule 32 because he really can't, because both attorneys is agreeing on setting these fucking idiots up and not putting Raymond Scales and Jeffrey Ball in prison for what? So they can go to prison and the white boys is going to retaliate. All they need to do is go to prison and get a penis stuck up their ass. Nobody gives a damn about no stupid ass white boy trying to retaliate on this case. The Supreme Court will look at these fucking idiots and say, don't you know this is a setup, you fucking fool? You can't file no 3 motions on Judge Brooks Smith and degrade his judgment. That's called not only ignorance, but a miscarriage of justice. You fucking fool. A Rule 32 governs this case, but if they don't want the evidence in the court and they don't want the case, who the hell are you to try to start a new case? Why don't you go put your dick in your ass? That's what John Husek said they're going to say to them if they try to ever go to court and put Jeffrey Baldwin in court. They're going to have 10 dicks in their ass.